Hello. Hello. Welcome, everyone. We appreciate your being here today. We have a case that we think is pretty important, which is why we made the decision to ask you to come by, because today we take a major step against those who defraud victims by duping them into crypto confidence scams, one of the fastest growing cybercrimes in the country today. This morning in U.S. District Court in D.C., my office filed a 100-page civil complaint to take possession of $225 million, the largest seizure ever in a crypto confidence scam, to deprive criminals of their ill-gotten gains and to recoup money for hundreds of Americans. Now, this is about quick money. It's about old crimes being committed in new ways. Every fast and loose criminal for centuries knows how it's done. And they've done it over and over again, and they continue to do it today. First, they identify their victims, they gain people's trust, and then they take advantage. But what's different now is that the world is changing fast, faster than we can keep up with, and in the world of cybercrime, everything is happening at record pace. But criminals, of course, find a way. So here they're identifying their victims through social media, through deceitful job advertisements, as well as fraudulent investment opportunities. So the unwitting victim, the unwitting, unprotected victim, enters this brave new world in the hopes of making a profit, and the criminal seizes the opportunity and takes advantage. But the crime here involves an organized crime ring linked to an international human trafficking syndicate linked back to foreign actors in multiple compounds in Southeast Asia. And as you can see from the chart over there, which is not behind me, but these are sophisticated bad actors who send stolen money through a variety of complex transactions and intermediary addresses between the initial victim deposit and along the blockchain to launder and obfuscate the source of the funds. So the hopeful investor now enters the Wild West on an international scale where the crime is global, where there are no borders, and where the crypto criminals avoid the rules, because this is an unregulated Wild West. But it's not just an unregulated Wild West, it's the wild North, East, and South. And thank God now we have an administration that is taking it seriously. And you may know that within the last 24 hours, the Senate passed the Bipartisan Genius Act, Senate 1582, that implements common sense regulations in an effort to make America the crypto capital of the world and to protect victims. So, under my leadership, with the support of President Trump and Attorney General Bondi, the U.S. Attorney's Office in the District of Columbia is going to be taking a leading role in the fight against crypto confidence scams. And we are partnering with all our great law enforcement partners here. And we're going to seize and forfeit the stolen funds and rip them from the hands of those foreign-based criminals, all with the eye of making the victim whole again. And finally, let me say the president has made it clear that crypto is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. This could not have happened without the incredible efforts of the Secret Service, the FBI, the Computer Crimes and Intellectual Property section of the Department of Justice. We will continue to root out the bad actors, and we will find those criminals who are taking advantage of unwitting victims who don't know what they're getting involved in. And if you're using the cryptocurrency market to steal, we're going to come after you, we're going to strip you of your ill-gotten gains, and you will be held accountable. So now I'd like to call upon Matt Gagliotti, who's the head of the criminal division in the Maine Department of Justice.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, United States Attorney Pirro. My name is Matthew Gagliotti, and I'm the head of the Justice Department's Criminal Division, which is over the Computer Crimes and Intellectual Property section. Today's civil forfeiture complaint against over $225 million worth of cryptocurrency is the department's latest action in our ongoing fight against cryptocurrency fraud schemes, which the FBI estimates caused more than $9.3 billion in losses in 2024 alone. $5.8 billion of that were from investment fraud schemes in the cryptocurrency space alone. The criminal scheme alleged in the complaint laundered millions of dollars in cryptocurrency taken by fraud and deceit from over 400 suspected victims who were misled to believe that they were making legitimate cryptocurrency investments. These scammers tried to conceal their actions, executing thousands of transactions across an extensive network of wallets and accounts to launder their ill-gotten gains. This is not the first action we've taken to hold cryptocurrency scammers to account, and it will not be the last. It harms American victims and undermines faith in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Just last week, the department announced the guilty pleas of 5 men who laundered over $36 million from a victim of cryptocurrency investment fraud schemes that operated out of Cambodia. These defendants face maximum penalties of between 5 and 20 years in prison. And last month, a federal district court here in D.C. ordered the forfeiture of approximately $2.5 million worth of cryptocurrency associated with one of these schemes. And we also announced the seizure of more than $800,000 worth of cryptocurrency from scammers in that case. Now, you've just heard from United States Attorney Pirro about why today's announcement matters and how you can protect yourself from falling victim to these schemes. But a couple of points bear emphasizing. The impact of the schemes on their victims can be devastating, both financially and personally. And this is complicated and compounded many times over by the sheer scale and complexity of these schemes. Of the $9.3 billion in losses, individuals over the age of 60 were the most affected, with roughly $2.8 billion in losses. To put it plainly, the defendants, or the scammers in this case, are just con artists. Everybody must protect themselves by educating themselves. Before considering an investment involving cryptocurrency, read the FBI's webpage about cryptocurrency investment fraud and check to see if you see any of the red flags identified there. For example, if an unknown individual contacts you, do not release any financial or personally identifiable information and do not send any money. Verify the validity of any investment opportunity from strangers or long-lost contacts on social media websites. If an investment opportunity sounds too good to be true, it probably is. There are additional red flags on the FBI's page, and I encourage the public to review them carefully. Today, I'm here to underscore the department's commitment to protecting the American public from these transnational criminal organizations and to securing justice for American victims and beyond. You are not alone. Our skilled investigators and prosecutors are working relentlessly to identify and to hold account those who seek to profit from harming our citizens. We will use every tool at our disposal to ensure that these crimes do not pay and to bring these perpetrators to justice. Many thanks to our prosecutors from CSIPS, the U.S. Attorney's Office, and our law enforcement partners who will speak momentarily. And with that, I'd like to call up Mr. Bradstreet.
Thank you, Mr. Gagliotti. My name is Sean Bradstreet, and I'm the special agent in charge with the Secret Service at the San Francisco Field Office. In November of 2023, the San Francisco Field Office initiated an investigation into the cryptocurrency accounts suspected of laundering funds from victims of cryptocurrency investment scams, also known as pig butchering. During this investigation, the United States Secret Service investigators identified more than $225 million in stolen funds linked to over 400 suspect victims. Once identified, these victims were voluntarily frozen by cryptocurrency provider Tether while the investigation continued. Today, as a result of the seizure executed by the FBI, these funds were transferred by Tether to the United States government. and eventually as much of these victims or much of these funds as possible will be returned to the victims. It's worth noting that today's actions is the largest cryptocurrency seizure in Secret Service history. This seizure is the result of incredible investigative work and exemplifies that victims coming forward matters. As an example, in February of 2024, a dozen Secret Service analysts and investigators across the country traveled to San Francisco for a 4-day operation that we often refer to as the Big Trace. Sitting shoulder to shoulder with our partners and with various cryptocurrency exchangers, our personnel analyzed victim complaints and diligently backtraced tens of thousands of transactions to proactively identify as many victims as possible. If you believe you are a victim of pig butchering scams, please contact the Internet Crimes Complaint Center. Within the last few years, the United States Secret Service has seen a major uptick in these types of scams. To date, the Secret Service has frozen or seized more than 1 billion of pig butchering scams. The agent has also linked to dismantled more than 5,000 domains linked to pig butchering since 2003. In closing, I want to thank U.S. Bureau and her team for the steadfast support. I want to thank the FBI San Francisco office, as well as our private industry partners for their assistance during this operation. Finally, I want to recognize the efforts of the San Francisco field office, specifically financial analyst Andrew Frey and the team for their countless hours and hard work and dedication on this case. They were absolutely amazing through this whole time. Now I'll turn it over to FBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Augustine Lopez.
Good morning. The FBI's San Francisco office opened a parallel investigation into this fraud scheme with the Secret Service in March of last year. As detailed in the complaint, the FBI and Secret Service investigators identified cryptocurrency addresses that were part of a complex blockchain money laundering network. These addresses held more than $225 million in illicit cryptocurrency proceeds. Through advanced blockchain analysis and other investigative techniques, the FBI and Secret Service agents traced those funds to schemes that defrauded hundreds of victims, many of whom believed they were making legitimate investments in cryptocurrency. Today's announcement represents a critical step in our ongoing effort to disrupt and dismantle transnational criminal networks exploiting cryptocurrency to defraud innocent people. Today's cryptocurrency investment fraud schemes are not just financial crimes. They cause devastating and long-lasting consequences for victims far beyond financial losses. Many of these scams are calculated, sustained, and emotionally manipulative, often involving scammers who pose as trusted romantic partners or business advisors. Thanks to the tireless and innovative work of the investigators from both the FBI, San Francisco, and the Secret Service, millions of dollars have been recovered and are now one step closer to being returned to victims. This case is a powerful example of what can be achieved through interagency collaboration and persistence in the face of highly sophisticated cross-border financial crimes. We, the FBI, also want to recognize the vital role played by our private sector partners, including blockchain analytics firms and cryptocurrency platforms, who provided key intelligence and assistance in this investigation. These partnerships are essential to keeping pace with criminals who exploit emerging technologies for profit. The private sector is on the front lines with us, and their cooperation is indispensable. The FBI will continue to aggressively pursue those who prey on others through deception and greed, no matter how complex or hidden their schemes may be. We remain fully committed to working alongside our federal partners, international counterparts, and the private sector to protect the public and hold cyber criminals accountable wherever they operate. Lastly, we urge anyone who may be a victim of this fraud scheme to report immediately to the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you. And I'll turn it back over to the U.S. Attorney.
Thank you. All right, as I'm sure you could tell from the discussion by the stakeholders, this is a very complicated scenario, and what we have here are some diagrams that are, I think, they look like a Google map in terms of trying to track money along the blockchain, and it is a very difficult kind of investigation that we're dealing with here. So, if you have any questions, we're happy to answer them. Do you know what pig butchering is? Apparently you do. Yes, sir.
Yeah, one on topic and one off topic question. If you don't
Why off topic? This is fascinating.
Because so much is going on in the world. On topic, I mean, you're talking about this as part of a crackdown on crypto scams, and
Yeah.
We've seen the sitting president really embrace cryptocurrency. In some cases, promoting a coin in his own name, a meme coin, rewarding top purchasers of that with dinners and towards the White House even. What if any scrutiny do you expect to apply to any kinds of those deals? And then for an off-topic question,
I'm probably not going to take the off topic, so don't worry about it.
Well, yeah,
let me answer your first question. Look, the president wants to make America the crypto capital of the world. And what we're trying to do here, consistent with the bill that was passed yesterday, where the genius bill of Senator Hagedy's bill is to create a stable coin and to create some kind of stable currency within the United States for crypto. Our job right now is dealing with people who are being scammed out of their life savings. We've got well over 434 more victims. This is the largest crypto scam ever. You can see the age groups of the people involved in this. You've got people between the ages of 40 and 49 who don't understand crypto or investing, and people who are over 50 who get caught up. And this ends up being an economic homicide for people that old because they cannot go out into the workforce and make up the money that they've lost. And the problem is, and you've heard the stakeholders behind me talk about this, is people are embarrassed to talk about it. They're embarrassed to say that it happened to them and that they were gullible, and so they're not reporting it. Our job today, and my message today, and the message of the administration is that we are going to send a message to all those criminals, whether they're in the United States or whether they're in Southeast Asia. At the very least, we're going to freeze the money, we're going to try to give it back to the victims, and we're going to follow and create a regulatory scheme of some sort so it's not the Wild West anymore, and North and East and South, where, you don't get away with crypto crime. It's not a get-out-of-jail-free card. We are now, this sophisticated group with me here, and I have to tell you, my hat goes off to them. I mean, this is an incredibly intense and difficult investigation, and we're here for the victims. No. Anybody else? Do you really know what pig butchering is?
No, what's pig butchering?
Thank you. Pig butchering is where it is a direct translation from Chinese, I understand, and it's where you fatten up the victim, the pig, before the slaughter. The analogy is very clear. They go as far as they can to get as much money as they think they can, and they're actually issuing like monthly statements saying, hey, your crypto's gone up, you're making a lot of money here, and these people don't know, they don't understand. And it is a crazy blockchain, when you're on some of these wallets, you have no idea where they are. So that's about, I can actually tell you how you spell it in Chinese, but I can't say it.
Did everyone who was the 434 victims, did they all get all their money back? Or just portion?
No, we're in the process of trying to assess, how much money we can actually get. All right, and this is the beginning of the investigation. And, it may seem like it's been a long time since we started this, but this is going to be a very long process. We've got to be able to, the blockchain is anonymous. So even though we see the transactions occurring and we see the money moving, we don't have always the ability to identify by name those who control the cryptocurrency wallets. And if that made sense to you, you're a smarter man than I am. No. Anyone else? You want to say anything? I want to introduce you to the members of my staff. Tell them. Keith, Kevin Rosenberg, and Rick Blaylock. These guys are phenomenal. Phenomenal. Did you want to say anything?
No, Judge, thank you.
Are you sure? Rick, do you want to say something?
I think you said it best, Judge.
No, I didn't, but thank you. Thank you all for being here. And no. Thank you. We're going to keep working hard. We're going to send a message. We're going to go after these people. Thank you.